Okay, now y'all, I'm gonna do a nail design that's gonna be like, kind of like, it's gonna remind you of like a stained glass window a little bit. There's gonna be like 4 various squares and rectangles on each nail. I'm gonna use these 4 colors, and I'm going to use these 4 colors to rotate between. And then I'm going to use the nail art in between each color. And then, of course, my base coat and my top coat. So, we shall start it off with a base coat, putting that on every nail. Okay, so now everybody, I've used the Nail Expert's Smooth Beginnings base coat. And as you can see, my nails are all shiny looking out from using that base coat. So wait for that to dry for a moment before proceeding on. Okay, so after using the base coat, I'm going to proceed on with my little design. To start off with, I'm going to use these 4 colors, and these colors include the Nail Wear Pro Nail Enamel and the Night Violet, and then the Speed Dry Nail Enamel and the Mambo Melon. And now this one, it's actually, they got it in like a Speed Dry normal shaped bottle. This is just an older one that I got back when I first started selling Avon. It's the same exact as the modern Speed Dry Plus Nail Enamel and the Mambo Melon. It's just in the different style of little container here, but it's the same exact thing, the Mambo Melon. And then the Nail Wear Pro Plus Nail Enamel in the Sunshine, my color named after me. And then the Speed Dry Plus Nail Enamel in the Rebel Rose. I'm going to start off using those 4 colors. Now, in starting out my little nail design, I'm going to do each hand slightly different with slightly different colors. It's going to be the same exact style of design, but just different colors, because I'm not going in any particular order, and so I'm mixing it up. So I didn't want every finger to have a different color or anything like that. So anyway, I've got my first color down here that I'm going to use as a base on these nail designs. And it's best to make sure you let this first color on each nail dry very, very thoroughly, so that way you can continue on with the next steps. So let this dry for a while. Now while this hand dries, we're going to start on this hand. And I'm going to use these 4 colors. I'm going to use the Speed Dry 30 Plus and the Fast Time Teal. Really, really love this color. It's one of my personal favorites. And then the Speed Dry Nail Enamel in the Art Orange. The Speed Dry Plus Nail Enamel in the Don't Be Jaded. And the Nail Wear Pro Plus Nail Enamel and the Red Reveal. And I'm going to do on this hand just as I did on this hand. I'm going to just randomly put some colors on the nails. Okay, now next I've taken and I've done some little lines and little squares and rectangles on one side of the nails. Let that dry before proceeding on. Okay, so now I've taken and I've added one more color to each of the nails, making more little squares and rectangles. Okay, so now I've added a 4th color to all the nails, creating little abstract little squares and rectangles here. Gonna let that dry before proceeding to the next step. Now next, using the nail art enamel in the white, I started making it like a stained glass kind of thingamajiggy. This is a neater style for stained glass with keeping it straight lines on it, not the really like triangular lines. It's in this style of the like in this style for a stained glass look on the nails, I'm keeping it with squares and rectangles, and so it's not going to be like the super crazy stained glasses where like you got the triangles and all that crazy stuff. I'm keeping it simple here. Now take nail art enamel and just go in between every color. And do like the little boundary lines here. Okay, so now I've finished with the white nail art enamel, and I've done white lines in between all of the four colors to finish off the little stained glass look. And then we will do the other hand in another four shades. Okay, so now on the other hand, I have taken and added a second color to each nail. And now this is actually really quite simple, y'all. So don't look at this and think, oh my gosh, that is like so hard to do. It's actually very, very simple. Because, okay, don't pay attention to these two nails. But I did one color on every nail. Then I did a stripe of a second color. And then right now I'm working on doing a third color. And it is really, really simple. You pick which color you want to use, and you can make it a little closer to the end or a little farther up. I'm kind of varying it a little bit. And so like this one, I'm going to actually, got a little drop there. I'm going to actually kind of make it go up a little farther. And you just try to make a straight line at the top. If you don't get it super straight, that's alright, because once you take and come along with the little nail art enamel, you're gonna make, you know, like this thickness of a line. So now, continuing on to put the fourth color on, as you can see here, I've done a fourth color. These all still have three colors. And you want to kind of, well, on this one, some of them I got a little straight across, but I found it's much more interesting if you kind of have it where it's a line and then like not just straight across like on these. It's a little more up and then a down line. So anyway, space these accordingly and continue on here with putting a fourth color on. And again, it's very simple to get the shape of rectangles and squares going on here. As you can see, this is just a normal nail brush, nothing fancy. And I did like a very straight across line. So it's just very simple. You just have to hold and position it correctly there. So it's really not very hard to do this style of a design, really. Now, in continuing on, use the white nail art enamel here. Just simply do lines in between all of the colors. Just very simply make lines. And simple as that. Very easy to do this design. Okay, so now I've finished using the white nail art enamel on this hand. And as you can see, I got a little more artsy with this hand and made it where no lines are exactly straight across. This one's actually kind of close, but it's slightly different. Whereas on this hand, there was quite a few that ended up being straight across. So there's two variations here for you. You could try the straight across blocks, or you could do the more abstract little blocky thingies here. And so here it is. I haven't used a top coat quite yet because I'm still waiting for it to dry. And if you use a top coat before it is completely all dry, you will have smeared lines of color going throughout the nail. So it is very important to wait for everything to dry fully before applying your top coat. But since this hand is already dry, since I did this hand first and then this hand, and also you can see how it's very, very similar, but yet slightly different. And I got different sets of 4 colors on each hand. So, anyway, we're going to do top coat. Top coat helps to seal in your design really nicely and add an extra shine on top. And the top coat I'm using today is the Nail Experts Color Shield Top Coat. All the top coats pretty much work the same, but anyway, here is our design. Well, 2 designs. 2 very similar yet slightly different designs. So anyway, here's the designs here. Trying to make it look like a stained glass window. Little effect here on the nails. So anyway, thanks for watching.